This is the Carbon Oven, the first dual-burner portable pizza oven that claims to reduce heat loss for back-to-back pizzas. In this no BS review, I'll test the preheat times and performance of the individual burners, and then make a variety of pizza styles before comparing it to other ovens. Let's get started. Everything is packed pretty well, but the pizza peel had a slight bend in it. The box was fine, so I'm not sure if it was like that before shipping. The setup is crazy simple. Just unfold the legs and slide the stone in. This little front shelf screws in to hold the stone in place. And that's it. We can hook up the propane tank and light this thing. But before I do, let's talk a bit about quality. Remember, this is a $700 oven, which is comparable to other top-of-the-line brands like Ooni. The overall build materials remind me a bit of the Bertello ovens. Black sheet metal, lots of rivets, and without many refined edges. But none of these are bad things, so long as it holds up well. However, moving on to the inside, you can see there are pieces of insulation visible at the seams. In addition, when looking at the burner assembly, I really don't like the amount of connections in the gas piping. It kind of looks like a DIY job. But performance is always more important than looks, and this oven makes an incredible rolling flame. From the etched carbon logo, you can see the flames from the bottom burner heating up the stone. Between the power of the top burner and the addition of the bottom burner, I thought this oven would preheat crazy fast like the Bertello Grande did, but it was pretty comparable with the average. With both burners on high, here are the 5-minute temperature readings on the center of the stone on a 45-degree Fahrenheit day. Because I was curious, I retested this with the bottom burner completely off, and here are the results. Finally, I also tested using only the bottom burner. As you can see, it topped out around 400 degrees after 30 minutes. So while the bottom burner does help preheat times a little bit, the bigger benefit is during cooking. The manual suggests launching your pizza when the stone reaches 670 degrees. I thought this was a bit too low for Neapolitan style, but figured I'd give it a shot in case the stone burner does more than anticipated. You can see here that the crust is definitely a bit underdone, but I had to pull it out before the cheese burned. The top crust is a bit underdone for my liking, but had a great cheese melt. The bottom definitely needed more heat. So that's exactly what I did. For my second attempt, I let the stone reach 740 degrees. This bake only took about 80 seconds, and the result was fantastic. I love the leoparding on the edge crust, and the bottom was solid, but maybe could have used another 15 seconds. 760 degrees ended up being perfect. The great thing is, it only took me 5 minutes to prep this pizza from the previous bake. And in that time, the temperature of the stone actually rose 20 degrees. Sometimes the Ooni Karu requires 10 minutes or so to heat back up after launching a cold dough. So the dual burners do work nicely and allow for back-to-back cooking. For the Super Bowl, I also cooked up these New York styles. The oven can only fit a 14-inch pizza, so it's a bit smaller than I'd normally make, but they still turned out great. I launched these when the stone was around 625 and cooked it on a lower flame, about 4 or 5 minutes total. Overall, there's no question you can cook awesome pizza in this oven. The biggest hurdle is the price. I would have liked to see this closer to the $500 mark. The build quality seems a bit closer to the Bertello lineup than it does the Ooni or Gosni, and the cooking surface is a bit smaller than I'd like. But since it cooks a great pizza, I can't not recommend it. You can find my final rating in the description below and see how it compares to other ovens.